Hello everyone, this is Aista, and I am pleased to welcome you all to one more webinar, which starts our MBAC webinar series after the break we made during the summertime. Our today's webinar is about the new state-of-the-art Siemens Teamcenter and MagicDraw or Cameo Systems Modeler integration, the result of a long-standing collaboration between two companies, Siemens PLM and Unmapping. The session is hosted by Dr. Saulis Pavalkis, the Chief MBAC Solutions Architect and PLM Products Integration Manager. Saulis has over 15 years of experience working on modeling solutions. His major expertise areas are model-based requirements engineering, data interchange, systems engineering, MBSC, PLM, SysML, UML traceability, simulation, modeling solutions, change and configuration management. Saulis works with companies from countries all around the globe. Ford, Rivian Automotive, Abbott, Raytheon, NASA, Australian Defense, to name a few. Before Saulis starts, let me remind you that today's presentation and demo will take about 50 minutes and the question and answer session about 10. If you have questions, you don't need to wait for the question and answer session to ask them. You can do this during the entire session, and Saulis will answer them later on. Type your questions in the questions area of the GoToWebinar panel. Due to the limited time, some questions may be left unanswered. In such case, answers will be published later at the webinar's page in written form. Note that the webinar is being recorded, and the record will be uploaded to an Unmapping YouTube channel in a few weeks. So please welcome Dr. Saulis Pavalkis. Saulis, are you ready to start?
Yes, I am. So can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so hello everyone, and I'm pleased to participate in this first webinar and start this session, this series of sessions this autumn, and also I'm pleased to present this integration on which we worked for some time already. So first of all, that this integration is a result of the collaboration between Siemens PLM and Unmapping, and Unmapping did a commitment to integrate with PLM tools because we see that system engineering data formalization and model-based system engineering with model-based system engineering can provide a lot of value and also need some inputs from external environment, and that external environment in many cases is PLM platforms, which provides backbone of the data, and there are a lot of tools connected already into those ecosystems. So we understood that this is important thing to have and allow people to reuse system engineering artifacts and PLM artifacts. So this integration, which we are releasing in version 19.0, which will come 2018 January, February, will introduce three major use cases. First will be file management. Second will be analysis requests, so you will be able to gather the data required to perform SysML modeling or UML modeling and move the data as single analysis request, so for example for functional analysis or parametric analysis to MagicDraw, and then results could go back to Siemens Teamcenter. And the third one is the most important is bidirectional data import, trace and synchronization at the single item level or model element level. So now more about each of the use cases. We will cover those use cases and major capabilities in slides shortly, and then we will move to the live demo in 20 minutes or less. So first use case is the file management. So we can, it talks about MagicDraw project sharing in Siemens Teamcenter Repository. We can commit, check out, and revise, and we can also put the project not only as the single file, but also we can store the diagrams as the images together in order that someone could go to this project item. This is dedicated for MagicDraw project item on Siemens Teamcenter, and see also together the diagrams as the images in order to understand what was that project at that moment. It helps to store like baseline information, completed information about modeled data which was synchronized at that moment. And so here is this first use case, how it works. We go to the file in MagicDraw, then Siemens Teamcenter PLM, and then we have all these items: load project, save project, file as, revise, check-in, cancel, checkout. Second use case is to gather the data required for analysis on Siemens Teamcenter as a single item analysis request, and then move this analysis request to MagicDraw. So here we see this analysis request item is created, and then we move single import action to MagicDraw. We perform analysis. Would it be parametric analysis, functional analysis, and move results back. Those results could include also files, external files like report generated, properties updated. Third use case is the data import, trace, and synchronization. So you select what data in what scope. It could be a single item, assembly, group of assemblies in the folder, and then import into MagicDraw, from MagicDraw to Siemens Teamcenter, and then keep this trace and synchronization. So this could be covers a few things. For example, you can reuse components from Siemens Teamcenter in different models. If you have something at the solution level, you can import it. At parts, you can import to MagicDraw and reuse those in the model, allocate them. Or you can also create design in SysML and then move this design to the key elements of that design, move to the Siemens Teamcenter based on the built-in meta model on Siemens Teamcenter, or extended one which you will use at your organization. So here we see how this use case 3 works. We have active workspace available here in MagicDraw. You can browse through the data model in Teamcenter through the active workspace, select, and then once you select something, you can drag it to model. But also you can do in opposite direction. Here you see those buttons. You can select something in MagicDraw and then select something in Teamcenter, and then import from the MagicDraw to Teamcenter. And here you see the same items of both directions: import, trace, check for changes, and synchronize. Both of those, this integration is based on our integration framework. So those capabilities are reused from the Data Hub, which was already available for many years for integration with doors. But now it is also used as the integration framework for integration with Siemens Teamcenter. As supporting capabilities to those use cases, we provide active workspace client integration. This is a standard way how Siemens Teamcenter products, how external products are integrating Siemens Teamcenter. And this workspace allows to browse the data, and this is as good as that client side supports. And this is basically every type of items are available through this client. So it is a good way to browse data. Then we have customizable mapping between MagicDraw and Siemens Teamcenter. So you can change mapping at the property level, change type items mapping to elements, to custom items or different items, and also change properties if you want. Also, we provide out-of-the-box mapping with system engineering component, RFLP component on Siemens Teamcenter site. And this new component allows to have a best alignment with SysML. And this comes as the available mapping out of the box. When you want to store key data from SysML, you can reuse those items which are available. Same you can import based on the mapping, and you will get SysML model. Then we have compare and sync dialog, which allows to see changes and synchronize at single element level. So you can pick what elements to synchronize. So here we see active workspace client integration. So we see this integrated panel. And then we see also those buttons which we introduced as part of Data Hub framework, integration framework, those standard buttons: import, trace, check for changes, synchronize. And then we see customizable mapping. Here you can pick the mapped SysML element, mapped Teamcenter item, and change properties or even change type. For example, like requirements, if we want to ignore requirement, if we want to ignore requirement ID, we can just keep it unmapped, and then it would be assigned on another site when we push requirements. So out-of-the-box mapping is available, and this document is also available. We can share once you will request, but also we will have this available publicly together with release, out-of-the-box mapping. Then also here we see this synchronization dialog. Compare and synchronize. We see differences at the property level, but at the element level we can pick in which direction to synchronize. And here we see two trees: on the left side MagicDraw model tree, on the right side Siemens Teamcenter. From the release dates, as beta was released, public beta was released August 21st. You can download it from the MagicDraw or Cameo Systems Modeler Help Resource Plugin Manager. If you have this tool, you can do that right now. Final release is targeted for version 19, which is planned for January, February 2008. From the component side, so we need the Cameo Data Hub and Siemens Teamcenter integration plugin, because this integration works on top of the Data Hub. It basically uses Data Hub and provides additional data source, support all the things which are required for this data source. From Siemens Teamcenter side, there are also a few components required, especially the active workspace. Support is required because this allows to browse the data. Then Siemens Teamcenter Systems Engineering components, which will allow to use default mapping if you want to use it, but that gives a lot of value because this is the best alignment between SysML and system engineering, which comes as the out of the box. And then for file management, also there is another component which allows to store MagicDraw project file as the file on Teamcenter. From the versions perspective and compatibility, right now integration works on 18.5, so you can use 18.5 with this integration in the beta. And sure, the next version will support this integration. From the Siemens side, officially we work with Active Workspace Client 3.3, Teamcenter 11.3, and those versions will be supported on the release. Currently also 3.2 and 11.2 works because that was like integration versions to make this integration, and no issues should be found in those versions also at the moment. From the pricing side, we still work on this. From the business side, it is not yet finalized, but it should be done in a few upcoming weeks. From the meetings, you can meet us at upcoming conferences, and we can present this integration and discuss. So, for example, in the Great Lakes Regional Conference in Minneapolis next week. Also next week, we will be at Global Automotive Advisory Group in Sweden. We will cover this integration, but also at NDAA 20th Annual System Engineering Conference. We also will be there, and please comment. We will be able to show you anything what will be interesting. In case of required dedicated demo, please feel free to contact me or account executive. And now we will switch to the online demo. So before switching to online demo, I see there is some questions. I will cover those few questions. But if I will not cover your questions, so don't worry. You will find answers in something about week or maybe less than the week online in our webinars section. And maybe not all of those questions we can answer. Maybe some of them need to be Siemens call. So first question, can you choose which package will contain the data when you move from Teamcenter? Yes, you can choose which package. You can select which package in MagicDraw and what kind of folder, if you use the folders on Siemens Teamcenter. Please define the RFLP acronym. Very good question. This is requirements, functional, logical, physical. So those are the main items which comes in system engineering. And this are the key elements which can be synchronized also when we work on with integration on PLM side. So this requirements, functional, logical, physical, those items are supported by Siemens Teamcenter, and we can synchronize them out of the box. More elements, like for example, connectors, ports are available, and also they are synchronized. But additional items, if you want to synchronize something else, you might need to create them. So is there plans to have this integration capability available with other PLM tools? Yes. So we work with other PLM tools, and this includes the source systems, which integration is also in progress. But also we work with ARAS innovator. We did prototype this year. It's actually quite innovative prototype, which allows to do trade-off analysis, not only data interchange. And we are open for other PLM tools, because this is what we do is integration framework, which we can reuse later on. Sure, there are a lot of use cases, and integrations could be different, and could unlock different values. Sometimes those values depends on the standards and interfaces of the PLM tools also what we use. Okay, so now we will move to the demo, and then we will cover the rest of the questions after the demo, as much as we will have time. So here we see MagicDraw, Cameo Systems Modeler. It is MagicDraw plus SML plus Simulation Toolkit. For this integration, we can use both MagicDraw plus SML or Cameo Systems Modeler. And in order to install Teamcenter integration, you go to Help, Resource Plugin Manager, and then here you will see two components. Basically, what you need is Teamcenter integration and Data Hub. But if you will choose Teamcenter integration, Data Hub will be installed automatically then. And now Teamcenter integration comes as a beta, so no license is required. You can find integration instructions at a dedicated web page, nomagic.com Teamcenter integration, and there are resources. So here is documentation about all the steps for the integration, because there are some things which you might need to go through in order to enable file management use case. And those steps you can find. And there is another component which comes from Siemens to enable this file management use case, but not the data synchronization use case. So now we will import data from Siemens Teamcenter, and we will do that to empty MagicDraw project. So we will create a MagicDraw project. Here I'm choosing SysML project, new project demo. Okay. So first thing what I will do, I will start integration. So go to Siemens Teamcenter PLM, and I will click on Show Active Workspace panel. I'm connecting to the server, and the panel will appear here in a moment. So Data Hub is starting, and it connects to the Teamcenter as the data source. And here we see Teamcenter Active Workspace, the component. And now we can browse Teamcenter Repository. You see those buttons which we introduced as part of this integration. Otherwise, this component provides a web-based interface for the Active Workspace. And now we can browse for this system. We will use Missile System as the sample system to import data. And here I can see requirements. I can go here, and I can see those requirements in the table view, for example. So I can go to flight requirement. You can represent them again in table view. Maybe this is more convenient for the requirements. Then I can go to the structure. And in structure, I will see blocks. And here I could go to missiles block and show the context of this missile block, show list with summary and architecture view. So we see composition, we see ports, we see connectors, and we can also update this through the RFLP menu palette, which comes as part of system engineering component on Siemens Teamcenter. So we can create new ones here. Requirements, functional, logical, physical, and relations and port. Now I will go to the function. Basically, functions are just list of the functions. So now I will select everything just to show that basically we can select at a higher scope if we want. And we will import this to the MagicDraw in a moment. So I will go to Home, Missile System, and here you see once I select something, this selection is visible here, and then I can drag it. I can drag it to whatever place in the model. Now I will drag this to the top level, and here you see the dialog, import dialog, which allows you to choose how deeper in the assembly you want to import. And then you see what will be the number of elements which will be imported and created. And then also you can specify what properties of items will be converted to value properties in the blocks. And that would give ability to do parametric analysis. You could connect those properties to the through the parametric diagram to analytical models, or even you could do the analysis in behavior diagrams. So you can based on the item properties, you can create value properties. So we'll click OK, and it will take a few moments to go through the data based on the mapping, import the data. So first of all, we will see the mapping dialog, which will allow us to validate mapping and to map maybe something which is not mapped. We can map which is not mapped, or we can just ignore. So we will do that. We will ignore unmapped places in order to be able to import, and later on those places are ignored. So we will not required to do that again. So here we see the mapping, and like if we will select requirements, we would see also properties of requirements mapped. And you see that ID is not mapped. We can map it by selecting here another property what will be in MagicDraw. But what we will do, we will ignore unmapped items, exclude unmapped nodes from in order to import the data based on the mapped things. We exclude those unmapped things because they make no sense for us at this moment. Okay. So here we see the progress, and after the progress will end, we will see the list of the items which will be imported and what will be the status of them in the model. So will they be imported? Will they be ignored? So we will see full list at the single item level. Okay, so now we see this report here. See some excluded ones, and then list of synchronized ones. Okay, close. And here we see imported data. So we can show the data in the visual view. So for example, requirements we can show in the requirements table. We can set the scope and then expand all those requirements. And then I will minimize the Siemens Teamcenter palette panel, and then I can show satisfy by column, derived. So they see that traceability was also imported. I can go to structure and then create block definition diagram, and then drag a block and say display related elements 2 levels deep, show. So we see also related elements here, and we see that requirement is satisfied. Then I will say, okay, let's create internal block definition diagram and see the same composition as we saw in Siemens Teamcenter side. So here we see what will be the internal block definition diagram. Then we can go to the functions and say, for example, for this function, I want to see structure. Activity decomposition map will show us structure of the functions. And it's not so, this is just few functions available, but in any case, it would show as much of them, including the structure. And then I can also show a location between functions and blocks. What are the blocks allocated to functions? What are the functions allocated to blocks? Some allocation matrix. And then choose the scope for the structure and the scope for the functions. Refresh, and I see allocation relations also, which were imported from Siemens Teamcenter side. You might know that on Siemens Teamcenter side, there's a single trace relation for many purposes. For example, between block and requirement to satisfy, between different requirements to derive, and between function and block to allocate. In case when we imported data, you see that those are different relations which got created, right? We see here derive relation between requirements. We see here allocation relation between function and block, and we see a satisfy relation between block and requirement. So we did not only ability to map to relation, but also we included the ends of the relation on Teamcenter side that you could choose precisely based on the usage of that relation. Those are predefined things which are available out of the box. You can reuse those, let's say, hard-coded types of relations for this mapping. New ones could be introduced based on the custom needs. If that would be required, this would be like an extension which might require some input from our side, but this is minimum input, and we are ready to support in this case. But other type of mapping, items and properties mapping, is out of the box. It's completely customizable without any code. So now we did data import, and now I will change some. So for example, I will create new block. Let's say new block 1, 2, 3. Also, I will introduce new requirement in MagicDraw. So for example, here in impact requirements, I will create new requirement. I can do that from the table, for example, impact requirements, add the nested requirement. This will be new rec. No text. I can put the text also. Text. And then I will go and change something on Teamcenter side, and then we will synchronize. So I will jump to requirements, and I will jump to this requirement, but you will see how it is convenient. I will select this and containment tree, and I will jump to this zoning requirements following the trees action. So I clicked on it, and now I am here. Right now I can see requirements in the table. And I could change this requirement. So this was missile range on bad weather shall be more than 360 kilometers. Or actually, we even could start analyze suspect links, enable tracking, in order that once I will update that, I would get a notification what was affected by this update, what was affected by this requirement update. Analyze suspect links. I will ignore unlinked elements and deprecated elements. And now I will go and change something in requirements. Missile range on the bad weather. I think here we can scroll, edit. Let's say that it will be 500. New requirement is much different, right? And now I can go to the full model to synchronize in order to see all the changes. I can do that from selection on Teamcenter side, or I can do that from here, from MagicDraw, so I can check for changes. Let's do that from MagicDraw side this time, but I could select here and check for changes. And traceability works also both ways. So we see those changes. We see that new block was introduced, and I want to move it from MagicDraw to the Teamcenter. And based on the legend, I see that this was new. This was new. I want to move it to Teamcenter. And I see there is some change in requirement, existing requirement. So I will go here and we'll see what is that change about. I see here that shall be more than 360, and here should be more than 560. So let's say, okay, this is what I want. I want to synchronize from Teamcenter. And I could click here and that will update everything, but I don't want to do that. I want to move those here, right? So let's do the synchronization. Now I get the list what will be after the update. Yes. So synchronization is completed, and we see that status is synchronized, closed. And I could go here, we see that requirement was updated, right? I could go here, analyze suspect links, so suspicious. So I would get what was affected by this requirement change. You see that this was affected, right? And then there is basically nothing else. Oh, there are derived requirements which are also affected by this one. So we see here there's a list of the requirements which were affected also. But and also I think there is unlinked requirements also analyzed by this aspect links capability. I could ignore those, but at the beginning it was they were ignored, but they were tracked. So now I see this one. Okay, let's say that I understood. I will update design. And once I'm done, I can click clear suspicious, and that suspicious will be resolved. And also derived ones, let's say clear suspicious in order to resolve. So now I will go to the Siemens Teamcenter. So for example, to the missiles component, I can jump to Teamcenter and then go to the structure. And we'll see that, okay, new block XYZ is introduced. Oh no, it's actually new block 1, 2, 3 was introduced. I could make it as the part of the structure at any place where I will need this block. Also, there is new requirement which should be introduced into Siemens Teamcenter. So I could go jump to this requirement package, Siemens Teamcenter side. It was impact requirements, and then I see here new requirement is available with the text should be text. Okay, so now next step would be to store MagicDraw project file into Siemens Teamcenter. So in order to do that, I will save this project file and will store this into Siemens Teamcenter as the baseline, let's say. So I go File, Siemens Teamcenter PLM, and Save Project File. Now I can pick location, so for example, home, or I can select a specific location. Again, active workspace integration component is available in order to allow to browse the data model. This is actually quite convenient because this gives ability to find required place easily. So I can go maybe to this package. So this is our decision where to this folder or to home. I can store this, create a MagicDraw project item, and then I confirm. Then also I can choose what views to create as the images. I will select everything, and later on I will see in status what will be updated if once I will synchronize again. Okay, next, and upload. It will take a moment. MagicDraw file will be stored on Siemens Teamcenter as the dedicated for the UML-SysML project item. And in the data set, those images will be stored to representing diagrams. So we see the status that project was created. Now I can go to the Siemens Teamcenter active workspace, and I can go to the missile system. Actually, I will go here, missile system, structure, and then here I see this new project demo. Inside of this new project demo, I see all the versions and the revisions, and I can open them, and I will see the attachments, but also we see here you can configure by yourself in Active Workspace that you would see those images as the diagrams. And with the new Active Workspace, you can browse from them in the full screen for those images. So here we see the ones which we created. Okay, now I can close a project, and anyone else who works with the same Teamcenter, they can have this integration. They can go here and open this project file. Go to Siemens Teamcenter, load project file. And go to structure package, and then choose this project file. You can select this, or you can select also revision. Okay. So now I can continue working on this diagram. And once I'm done, I can store back results. You don't see the synchronization here. So when we synchronize, we basically see that S letter on the folders, but you don't see it because Siemens Teamcenter panel is not visible. So once we will go here, Siemens Teamcenter show active workspace panel, you would see the synchronization because this project has the synchronization established already. And then you can drag and drop. And this is basically not only on this machine. Anyone else who works with the same Teamcenter, they would see those items synchronized when they open this project. So this doesn't depend on my installation. This is all data is in the project. I can commit this those changes to Siemens Teamcenter. Let's do that. Save project file. Yes. And you see that I can choose the diagrams again, which I will upload. And if I will go here to the active workspace, back, I would see that the second version is now available here. Still same revision, but second version, right? So now I can go here and Siemens Teamcenter, click on revise. And also I could revise this project file. I can do this from here, or I can do this directly from Active Workspace. This is basically, so I can click on revision, and the revision will be created and then automatically opened in the MagicDraw. Okay, Cameo Systems Modeler. Okay, now I can go back to Siemens Teamcenter PLM and show Active Workspace panel, and then synchronize those changes which I did. I might skip this step because we did already this already show how this can be performed, but here we see that now the synchronization is again visualized, and I could check for changes and then synchronize. Okay, so that was the demonstration of this integration, which will be released, the final version will be released January, February 2018 together with version 19, and the beta you can already download. And I was presenting out of the box beta with any changes, so it works out of the box. It's already supports all those capabilities which were demonstrated. So now I will go to the questions, and I will try to cover in the rest of the time as much as I can. I can't promise to cover all of them because there is quite a lot of them. So there is a good question. If I have my project on the Teamwork Cloud, will I be able to save a snapshot of the project to Teamcenter, or this works only on standalone project? Currently works on standalone project, but that's actually our goal, to make it work with Teamwork Cloud. Another question, if I used HTML editor in Cameo, am I able to use Word or edit in Teamcenter, or do I need to use HTML editor in Teamcenter? So we don't do conversion between Word and HTML, and even with HTML there could be some things which are not converted. We need to check which things might be supported, and I think we will need to cover this explicitly, what things can be transformed. What happens then a user has only read permissions on Teamcenter site and he tries to upload a change? So we connect, first of all, when we start active workspace panel, we are requested to connect with the user permissions, and only user allowed actions are allowed. So the same as if user would create those items by himself, so he would see appropriate error message. And if we synchronize a bunch of elements, you would see those elements status. Maybe some of them were synchronized, maybe some of them were failed synchronization or import. This question about mapping. When you import from Teamcenter to MagicDraw, can you map to customize stereotypes and their values? Yes, for sure. This is supported. It's already part of Data Hub as the integration framework capability. You can introduce your new stereotypes and value properties and map to them. There's also a question, can you remap if you already synchronized? As far as I know, you can do that. It might require you to synchronize, and it might be new item created based on that remap, but it should be supported. Does Teamcenter work with Teamwork? Does this integration works with Teamwork Cloud or just client? Cloud is not included as part of this integration. I think the goal is to be able to store the pointer to cloud or file project into Teamcenter also if it comes from cloud. At the moment, it works with standalone file and Teamwork server. Teamcenter has different type of elements with many property fields. Will those all be mapped and synchronized over to MagicDraw? Yes, you can decide which properties in the data hub, and also you can decide on import which properties you want to see as the value properties on the blocks. So the mappings to element properties, basically you decide. So if it has 50 properties, you can decide that 5 of them are important for you to see synchronized, imported and synchronized. So there's question, why does diagram which was once synchronized as image does not synchronize automatically? I fear that the image in Teamcenter may be misleading because it must not show the actual model. Yes, the image is just an image. It doesn't show up-to-date information, but when you store the project file and synchronize it again, you will see all those diagrams which you already synchronized, and they are selected by default. So by clicking synchronize, you will get all of them automatically. So you decide when to store the newer version of the project. So there is question if you can load project from Teamcenter and then edit in the MagicDraw and then save it back to Teamcenter. Why do you need synchronization for? So synchronization is not for the whole data, it's to synchronize the mapped data. You can edit the project file which might have data created in SysML which is not makes no any impact on the Teamcenter items which you decide to synchronize, to create and synchronize based on SysML model. So synchronization is the moment when you decide to update the data. It could be connected, but at the moment those two actions are separate: to store the file and to synchronize the related related items. From our experience, people might want to have this automatically when you save the project to synchronize, but it's in a lot of cases that is not expected, because they might want just to work on the project and they don't want to synchronize anything. That's how we saw this in case of doors integration, which we have for years. People just want to control when they will synchronize items. Are the results of simulation MagicDraw stored in Teamcenter? When you do analysis request and you import analysis request from Siemens Teamcenter, as a result of analysis request, you will get simulation data. Also, you can attach any external files like reports and Excel files generated as a result of analysis. So yes, basically this the second use case, which we didn't demonstrate it, but you will be able to find the demos later on when we will be near release date. This exactly the purpose, to do analysis in MagicDraw and provide results to Teamcenter. Okay, so thank you very much. There are a few more questions. Thank you very much for those questions. And we will answer all of them, and you will find your answers in the written form, which will be synchronized with Siemens Product Manager of System Engineering component. And because we work on this integration not alone, and this is what we do together. And you will find that the recording of this webinar also on our webinar webpage. Please give us a week to upload the data, but you might find it even earlier on the web page. So thank you very much. Have a good evening or morning and the day, and looking forward to get your feedback and positive experience, because that's what we want to provide you. Thank you very much.